lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Not too bad. It's a pretty exciting night here. 96 laps at the mile and a quarter egg-shaped oval here in Illinois, near St. Louis. Been yelled at. I've been yelled at for that before, but yeah, no, it's gonna be a great race here. We saw Shane Jensen lead in practice over Jacob Jensen. Jensen's got himself the pole right now, but some pretty exciting stuff in practice.
Yeah, we're getting late here in the season. The Western States Racing League down to, I should always pull the schedule up before we get started. Down to only about 4 or 5 races left here in the season. We're going to pull up the point standings right now. Jacob Jensen has been the class of the field, 6 wins on the season, leading the points. 37 points over second place Brian Barnes. Wayne Hutchison finds himself in the top 3. Bob Beltrami, the old Beltrami salami, sitting there in 4th. Julian Ricci, John Kenyon, Chad Stearns, David Weaver, Ryan Steele, Dustin Burns round of the top 10 there in the point standings right now. Bentley Glazier, who Bentley's missed quite a few races. I expected to see him tonight, but he has a no-show for tonight as well. Back there in 11th. We're looking for some exciting racing here tonight, Liam. I expect Jacob, and as we say that, the number 34 of Ryan Patty takes the top spot here in qualifying with a 33.59, so about a tenth of a second faster than Jensen right now. or it should be 100th of a second. I guess I can't do any math. So Ryan Patty, we haven't seen Ryan most of the year, so he comes out here tonight. He must really like Gateway. Just shows up for tonight and puts himself on the pole at the moment.
I might be incorrect here, but I do believe this is Ryan's first start on the season. So exciting to see him get up here on the pole. We'll see if he can keep onto that long run speed like he's shown short run speed so far. He's of course going to have a tough time behind him with Jacob Jensen, Chad Stearns, Wayne Hutchison. And I tell you what, we were wondering, that's who Ryan took the number from, was Wayne. Wayne sitting here being scored as the 18 in this one. So if you haven't caught that, Chris,
I just now did.
yeah, now you've got another moment to work your magic if you need to, if you want to. I know you just figured out a way.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. You know how most race car drivers are pretty superstitious and you know, about their car numbers. So surprising some of these guys don't just lock these things in before they get in here. But
Well, and that's part of it being it's kind of the way that it is run. It's not done through the league page so much as it is through hosted stuff, and obviously got to be approved to get in, but that does kind of leave that open to happening.
so we got a few trucks
Obviously,
left on
Bob Beltrami does a good job taking care of the point standings and not having that be an issue, but something we've noticed.
Yeah, we got just a few trucks left on the track qualifying. Matt Sisler out there going to put himself up to the 9th position. We're sitting there Ryan with Dustin Burns. Dustin back there in 18th right now. Dustin's had some struggles with the season. See if maybe Gateway's going to be his turnaround track for him. But we've also got Brian Barnes that yet to turn a lap. Jeff Wills and Alan Bergen here again tonight, yet to turn a lap as well. But we talked about the schedules coming up. Gateway here tonight. Only 3 races left in the championship season. This is season 53. 53, and I emphasize that for the Western States Racing League. They have been around for a long, long time. So next Tuesday night, we'll be at Michigan. Take a week off for Thanksgiving week. Come back on December 2nd for Charlotte, and they end the season on December 9th at Atlanta. So only a few more races left in the season, Liam. We've had a good run all year. It's been a lot of fun. It's going to almost be sad to see it come to a close here in a few weeks.
Yeah, I agree. You know, if we don't find ourselves locked up into this booth for the next season, these boys do, we might have to find each other on the racetrack because, you know, this is so much fun to be a part of week in and week out. These guys blow my mind with how close they can race each other. Yeah, we've seen some situations, we've seen some contacts, we've seen some retaliations once or twice this year, but week in and week out, you got 23, 24 guys that show up and keep it clean, keep it cool amongst each other. And I think, you know, that type of longevity, that type of, you know, camaraderie, that's why these guys have been able to run for 54 seasons, or 53, 54 coming up soon.
Yeah, so settings here for tonight. Race setting 96 laps around the Worldwide Technology Speedway. What do we got? 80% fuel capacity. So I didn't get a chance to talk to anybody about potential fuel loads. I don't know if you did or not, but 4 tire sets, and looks like we got no chance of rain here, which is nice. These trucks don't like the rain. I've been covering some endurance and some F1 stuff, and that's kind of fun to watch in the rain. Maybe we should put some rain tires on these trucks and go at it.
I tell you what, man, maybe if we get some of that, maybe if we get some ideas rolling like we were talking about, we can indeed,
So
we can work with something like that.
we've also got a couple in-car cameras tonight. Let's see if I can get them to come up here. There we go. We got Jeff Wills down there on the bottom. On the right-hand side, John Kenyon up on top. Gracious enough to let us into their gaming rooms, living rooms, bedrooms. I don't know where they got their rigs set up at, but both of them, looks like Jeff and John both set up pretty well right there. Maybe I can go over and borrow some of their stuff. Maybe I can make some good laps.
Yeah, if there's anybody you want to learn from, it would be, you know, somebody like Jensen or Stearns, or in this case, we've got Patty out here ready to show us what's up. And as the pace car is going to get rolling, I don't see that second place driver there, Jacob Jensen.
Yeah, it's like is he going to start?
He's
sitting in the pits. I think he's going to
from
start
the
from the
pits,
pits.
yeah.
All right, so as we come around for the pace lap, we'll bring up our starting grid on the pole. Ryan Patty in the 34, Jacob Jensen in the 64 on the outside, 05 of Chad Stearns starting in P4 outside of row number 2 is Wayne Hutchinson. I got to slow this thing down. I can't talk that fast. Shane Jensen and Bob Beltrami in row number 3. Back in the 4th row, it's going to be Chris Walker and Charles Woods in the 40. Starting 9th, Matt Sisler in the 93. The Navy, I've got the Navy and Coast Guard side by side with Hollinsworth. And then back in 11th, it's going to be Paul Pomeri and David Weaver in the 16. We get back to the 7th row, starting 13th, Earl Weaver and John Kenyon. Nice picture of John Kenyon there. Julian Ricci and Ron Holyfield are going to fill row 8. Row number 9. What's that?
Are you still on Jensen?
No. Oh, I am still on Jensen. There we go.
Sorry to jump through the end of the starting grid there.
That's
We had
right.
Barry Phil, Jeff Wills, Brian Barnes, Scott Kukas, Charlie Widener, Keith Kelman rounding out the drivers who are starting here. Jacob Jensen looks to be starting from the pits. Alan Bergen nowhere to be seen. Green flag is in the air. Ryan Patty's going to lead him down for the first time in his WSRL season.
And down to turn number 1, it's Ryan Patty. He's got that 05 truck and Chad Stearns down on the bottom. And Wayne Hutchison and the unusual number 18 up there on the outside. Patty with a good jump as they head down the back straightaway.
Oh, and around goes Brian Barnes off of turn 2. Caution's going to come out. First one very quick. Charlie Widener and the 07 of Keith Kelman caught up in that. And Charlie Widener's going to jump. Is it Widner? I think they've said Widner.
Widner?
Charlie Widner has to jump to the pits.
Early issue here coming off turn number 1. We talked about how clean these races usually are for the Western States Racing. They've got unfortunate early caution there. We'll see if we can see what happened to jump back here and take a look at Widener. They come off. Barnes just lost it. Barnes just lost the back of the truck right in front of Widener. And unfortunately, here comes the 07 of Keith Kelman, just kind of piled in, really nowhere to go. So really uncharacteristic of Brian Barnes right there to lose the back of the truck early. Cold tires on these trucks, not a lot of rear grip is going to do that to you. So just a mistake early right there is going to, actually it looks like Widener's going to pay for it, most of it. But Jensen here, take a look at Jensen. So he started down on the pit road.
Yeah, he started down on the pit road, and I think since...
Did he lose a lap at this point? I'm trying to find out here.
He's not being scored having completed a lap yet.
All right,
so he is going to be 1 lap down. When the caution comes out this early and not everybody's crossed the line, that can cause some weird stuff. Usually that happens in a situation where the caution happens immediately. However, I guess this one truck not crossing the line caused some sort of debacle here. But anyways, Jacob Jensen's going to be a lap down. We'll see if Charlie Widener ends up getting back into this thing.
Alan Bergen not taking the green flag. Looks like he's going to stay down the pits as well. So Keith Kelman involved. Keith Kelman, Charlie Widener, and Brian Barnes all involved in that early incident. All in the pits right now as well. Matt Sisler, Jacob Jensen also diving down into the pits for an early stop. Maybe topping off with some fuel. It seems kind of early to top off with fuel with only 3 laps in, but we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, he's probably just trying to make sure he restarts at the back of this field. And it looks like that scoring issue has reset itself. Now Jacob Jensen is being scored on the lead lap in 20th place. Not sure why he would have lost a lap. I don't know. It just said he didn't complete the first lap until he got done with the second one. So
Ryan Putty in the Loves. Ryan Putty. Did I say Putty? Ryan Patty in the Loves number 34.
You got to think like the old crew chief, Brian Patty.
I don't even know who the hell Brian Patty is.
I'm sure there's somebody in the chat that you just
offended.
Yeah, you offended. You might have ruined their day.
Yeah. Brian Patty, the ex-crew chief, is in our chat right now, and he is very unhappy. I didn't know who he was. Lights are out on the pace truck, Liam.
Yeah, it looks like we'll be going single file for this restart. He did not make it a full lap since the most recent green flag.
So Ryan Patty's going to bring us back around, back to the line here. We hit through 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Chad Stearns, Wayne Hutchison, Bob Beltrami, and Shane Jensen. Going to round out the top 5. We're going to come back to green here after our first early caution. It's a long
Yeah,
way down the
first
trailer.
caution happens on the first lap, coming up off of 2. Brian Barnes, cold tires, gets sideways. Keith Kelman, Charlie Widner pile in. Matt Sisler, Keith Kelman, Brian Barnes, Jacob Jensen, and I believe, nope, just those 5 came into the pits. So Ryan Patty going to lead him down once again.
All right, you got us, Leon.
Waiting for that restart zone, gets into it. And he waited till the end to get going here on the single file restart. Watch for some checkups in the middle of the pack. It's always going to be a little bit sketchy on a single file restart at this style of racetrack. Now, Chris, I know you remember Phoenix when it had its finish line where it was. Between those 2 walls, it caused some problems as you see Dustin Burns going up the racetrack. Everybody in the mid-pack seems to be able to keep her on going. We've got some side-by-side with Paul Crumray to the inside of David Weaver. Looks like he'll complete that pass getting into turns 3 and 4. And everybody makes it into 3 and 4 this time. First green flag lap to be led today, led by the 34 of Ryan Patty.
Patty with a good lead, but he's got Chad Stearns all over the back of him. The 05, Chad has been strong all year long. When he gets himself up towards the front, he's looking really good early on. We're only 6 laps into this race. But he's got Wayne Hutchison and Bob Beltrami, the old 2 veterans back there. And look who's sitting back in 5th right now, Liam. It's the number 8 is Shane Jensen. Shane's had some struggles throughout the year, but he's looked really strong in practice. Looking really good here so far, running in the top 5 early on.
I feel like Shane is a driver that we've seen improve all season in terms of speed. The results haven't always come his way, but he was the fastest in practice. That was a very good point to bring up, and he starts up in the top 5. Keeping on with that spot right now.
Bob Beltrami closing up on the back of Wayne Hutchison right now for that 3rd and 4th spot. We take a look here inside the truck with Bob. Easing down into the corner, down here to 3 and 4. Just kind of keeping that truck way down on the bottom. You can see him wiggling the steering wheel just a little bit, but he's coming off the corner, gets the wheel open and nice and straight. Looks like
a little bit of a wiggle out of the 18 just in front of him. Sorry there, Chris, but I love this angle here. You can watch what these guys are doing through the corners. And Bob's going to get a nice center, but watch the way that this 18 cuts down. He's going to be able to get himself a nice run down this incredibly long straightaway. Those 4 or 5 mile an hour that he had coming up off of the corner, they just carry down, and that turns into 5, 6 car lengths when Beltrami was almost 1 or 2 off of him going through 1 and 2.
Now we're going to take a look here. Jacob Jensen started from the pit road, took a early pit stop on that first caution, and worked his way up to the 12th spot right now. Our early, taking a look back here also as well. So our big mover of the race right now is John Kenyon up here in the 4th position. We're going to jump in the truck here with John and just see what it looks like from his view.
We got Wayne Hutchison with a problem. He's going to fall all the way back. Bob Beltrami might have gotten a piece of it. Hutchison sideways. No caution coming up off of turn number 2 for him. He's able to get away, but big time trouble for your 3rd and 4th running drivers.
Unfortunate incident for Wayne. No caution. I will take a quick look at it here and see what happened.
Oh man, he just
got in a little deep. Lost the back.
Bob was doing everything he could to not hit him. 18 just come down in front and
yeah, nothing really Bob could do about it. Yeah, it was a good recovery by both of them, but unfortunately, it's going to send him tumbling down the standings right now. Beltrami all the way down to 13. Hutchison falls down to 22nd. And here's our fight for the lead. Back up here with the 34 and the 05. It's Patty and Stearns going at it. And Patty's is not going to be comfortable here at all, looking in the rearview mirror and seeing that 05 just getting closer and closer.
No, these guys have both posted the same for their fastest laps of the race. Last time around, a couple of hundredths in the favor of Chad Stearns. That's got to feel good if you're that 05. You might not be super comfortable or super familiar with this 34 in front of you, but you know how this league goes. You know how your truck traditionally handles throughout the course of these runs, especially at a track like this. Although, who knows? Maybe Ryan Patty can impress us as we've got a side-by-side battle. Jacob Jensen working down to the inside of Crumray. That Coors Light machine, the 22 on the hood. And, of course, Jensen gets sideways And so does the 23 coming up off. Chris Walker gets down, keeps it off of the wall.
So this fixed setup for these guys tonight looks like it's a little bit loose. That's the third truck we've seen just lose the handling coming off the corner right there. Walker, our latest victim. And we're taking a look here at Jensen one more time. Jensen now up to 7th. He qualified up in 2nd. Decided to start from pit road for some reason, and now worked his way all the way up into the top 10. He's got to see if he can get his way around the 96 of Paul Cremer.
Got a little bit loose there was John Kenyon. Jacob Jensen trying to get around Paul Cremer. But two things that I want to bring up. This is a little bit similar to what we saw with the fixed setup at Martinsville. These guys were just getting sideways on braking, getting sideways on corner entry, and occasionally on exit, and there wasn't really much they could do about it. The other thing that I do want to bring up is if we could jump back to the 96 machine with that 22 a day on the front. Today is Veterans Day, and we just want to say thank you to anybody who has served in any military. Obviously, we're pretty keen on the United States military being Americans here, but just want to say a special thank you to anybody who has served, and never forget why.
I was trying to see if I could get a view of the hood there.
Back one more.
Yeah. All right, that's about the best we're going to get. All right, so we look back up here at the top 3. I agree with you 100% though, but and we got a couple other tribute cars in here with the National Guard of Jeff Hollinsworth, and Hollinsworth now worked his way up to 4th, up 6 spots so far. And he's got the pace right here. I think he's going to find his way around Jensen here in the next couple of laps. But Shane Jensen having a good run so far, running in the top 3. We've not seen him really in the top 3 all season long, but he got some really good pace here today.
He really does. He's looking pretty strong. We'll see if it can hold on to the long run pace here as Hollingsworth has tried a couple of different things on him. Jensen goes way wide, but that's going to allow him a nicer, straighter exit coming up off. You're going to see that 8 drift away further and further down this long straightaway.
97 of Hollingsworth in the Coast Guard truck right there. He got a good run down on the bottom of Jensen right there. Jensen pushed up just a little bit, opened that bottom lane up. Hollingsworth's going to take advantage of it. They come off at turn number 4, off at turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Was 4.
Oh, you were right. That was 4.
Got to learn his track a little bit. So Hollingsworth now up to 3rd, started back in 10th, up 7 spots.
Fantastic drive there out of Hollingsworth, and he has been incredibly patient throughout the course of this race. We haven't seen him overdoing anything, haven't seen him pushing any issues, and that was a really good example of it right there. It took him a couple of laps to make that pass. He did get a little bit close, but these guys were not at risk of contact, and that's exactly how you want to do it when you're 17 laps into a 96-lap race.
Side by side here with Jacob Jensen and Paul Cremer. I'm going to pronounce that name 5 different ways before the race is over, but Jensen now down to the bottom in the 64. All the way now up to 6, and he's got the 40 truck of Charles Woods right there in front of him, and Charles keeps leaving that bottom open like he just did right there. I think you're going to see Jensen drive past, and as I say that, here they come down the back straightaway into turn number 3, and Jensen is going to take that spot away from Charles Woods, and it's going to be Jensen now up to 5th, and he's bringing Paul right there with him.
Look at how Paul is able to just hook down on that rumble strip. He loses a little bit of that grip coming up off, but he followed Jensen right through that corner. If not for the slide, I think he just learned something for the middle portion of this race.
Yeah, Paul took advantage of Jensen opening up that bottom line on Charles Woods, followed him right through there. So now we've got this battle here for 5th and 6th. We look up closer to the front. Chad Stern still pacing at 34 of Ryan Patty. Not able to find a way around. I don't know if he's really got the pace to get past Patty right now, or he's being patient, saving tires, one or the other. But normally we see Chad towards these, when he gets to these longer runs, we see him kind of come on towards the end. So we'll see if he's doing just that right now, saving those tires for the end of this first stint.
Yeah, and I would imagine these guys are. Oh, caution's out. John Kenyon's off track. Trouble in turns 1 and 2 as John Kenyon goes around on the infield. Might have been another one caught up in there, but Kenyon going to drive away, and Wayne Hutchison going to be pretty pleased with the timing of that.
John looks good it looks okay down there. I'll go back and see. So that's going to be our second caution of the day. Kenyon off the track. We'll see what happened.
Might be a little bit of right front or left front damage to him, but
All by himself here on the racetrack. So we're going to see the same thing. Yeah, just gets down in the corner. A little too deep. Or he's got too much rear braking at one of the two. But and just loses the back of the truck. And we've seen that multiple times now today. So numerous drivers
yeah,
are struggling with this setup.
no damage to the front end. That was just kind of the shaping of the paint scheme that made it appear that way to me. But yeah, the front end of that truck looks pretty good. Now we're going to see if everybody comes into pit. We've got 3 sets of tires in the pits and everybody coming down to the access road. Remember, this track, it's got this access road. You've got to take that if you're going to pit.
That is a long pit entrance.
It really is. But that commitment line, that's into turn number 3. That's something to keep in mind if there's enough time for a green flag pit stop today.
Anybody stay out? I don't.
Nope.
The whole field is on pit road. I actually just kind of tried to look to my left of my monitor to see if I could see around the signs to see the trucks coming down the road here.
So if I jump into my truck for the little test drive,
Oh, we got somebody
says
that
I've
left.
got 66 laps of fuel.
That's because you haven't driven it yet.
This is true.
The whole field, and actually, I thought I saw somebody say Keith Kayaka's a lap down. Charlie Widener's still out there. So we've got 20. What is it? 23 trucks started, 22 still out there.
We should have all 22 on the lead lap now with Keith Kelman staying out.
He will.
Oh,
be
wait,
the
no,
lucky
he has
dog.
numerous laps down.
Is he?
Yeah, it's scoring him as 7 laps down.
He's still gonna be the lucky dog, and we're gonna use the lucky dog graphic. We haven't got to use it in a while.
Keith Kelman, your lucky dog winner. He's going to come in, make a pit stop here, get some service done, but he is allowed to do that under this caution because he is your lucky dog winner.
Got to thank our good buddy Shane Cochran for all our fancy graphics and overlays and bringing it.
And if anybody wants to jump in and sponsor these little fun moments for us, we'll say it's the Your Name Lucky Dog.
The Your Name Lucky Dog winner?
Yeah.
So do you like if you had like a hot dog stand, be a good sponsor for that, maybe?
Hypotheoretically, yeah.
We got Ryan Patty in the YouTube chat saying 45 laps. If we go into green, 45 laps is going to be the limit on a tank of fuel. Thank you out there, Ryan. So Ryan, not only leading this race, he is on the YouTube chat giving us some input, giving us some inside what's going on out there. So,
well, let's be honest, Chris. How can you not? This is his first race this season with this group. Maybe his first ever. I don't know. But he is out here, has led every lap so far. Why not go in the YouTube chat and hear what we're saying about him?
I like his picture down. He's ready. He's ready for his NASCAR start, or he's poised right there.
Yeah, he's ready. He's looking good. He's got Chad Stearns to his outside, though, who didn't let him get too far away over the course of that last 17-lap run. Pace car makes a hard left, almost wrecks itself like the Phoenix pace car last year.
Oh, this is going to be
into the Geico restart zone. Green flag. It's not Geico anymore, but we are racing.
Ryan Patty gets up in front, able to slide up in front of Stearns. Look back in that third position. It is Jacob Jensen's worked his way up the third. Shane Jensen, a little bit of struggle off the corner. Paul Cremier is going to get on the outside of him right there. Bob Beltrami trying to get back up here after that early incident he was involved in with Wayne Hutchison.
He tried to get down to the bottom 3 wide of Shane Jensen and Paul Cremier. He got down on that rumble strip and got sideways. I thought he was going to lose it there as Jacob Jensen gets sideways there. So does Bob. And look at this gaggle. We got, contact! Wayne Hutchison into the wall!
The 18 of Wayne Hutchison, normally the 17. Hard contact with the outside wall right there.
Julian Ricci immediately jumps on the radio apologizing, but that's not going to do much for that damage he's got on his front end. Julian Ricci looked like he got a little bit loose coming up off of the corner and just, contact was made.
Well, let's see if we can see what happened here. Help if I'm on the right truck. There we go. So Wayne Hutchison there coming off the bottom. Richie just kind of came down the racetrack. Looked like Richie lost the truck a little bit. Got a little loose off the corner, and Wiley was trying to save it. It turned him down the racetrack into Wayne Hutchison and just hooked him. Hooked that right rear, shoved him right in the outside wall.
Yeah, maybe we could see an overhead angle, but he either got sideways there or he just had a run good enough on the truck in front that he tried to go down. And
We'll go up to the blimp here.
yeah, let's take a look here. Yeah, he's coming down. He thinks he's got the run on Barry.
He got loose.
Oh, yeah. Little loose, a little turned down, but also, at least on my screen, potentially a little net code.
Yeah, unfortunate for Wayne Hutchison. He got involved in an incident earlier of his own doing. Just kind of lost the truck there, collected Bob Beltrami, but this time was not his, no fault here. He just got caught up in somebody else's mistake.
Yeah, unfortunate there for the 18 this week. Julian Ricci also going to have some damage after that.
So our third caution here at Gateway, 26 laps of 96. We don't usually see this many cautions. Heck, didn't we go 70 green flag laps at Talladega last week?
We sure did.
Before we had
With
a caution?
70 green flag laps, we've gone a caution-free race at Dover. We've had a caution-free race at Iowa. We had a race with only one caution in Texas. And, of course, the one caution we had last week at Talladega. These guys have done phenomenal. Like I've said, I mean, it comes to clean racing, good racing. These guys have it together. We had, obviously, the anomaly in Martinsville. But as we kind of established, that was a bit more setup related than it was talent related. So these guys were doing the best with what they had, but we saw some of our best get got.
Lights are out on the pace track coming down. Actually, they're still on the pace track. Lights are still on. We're going to go around one more time. It's Ryan Patty out in front. Chad Stearns in the second position. We look back here. Jacob Jensen has worked his way up to third. Was scheduled to start second. Started from the pit road, so up to third. He's doing his best version of a Max Verstappen here. Max started on the pit road the other day and made his way all the way up to almost up to second in that F1
He got
race.
up to third.
Yeah, he got up to third. Led the race for a little bit, which was kind of crazy, but Paul Creme here in that fourth spot. Shane Jensen, still a solid run. Started in fifth, and he's in that fifth position right now. Bob Beltrami, David Weaver, Matt Sisler. We haven't really seen Matt up here. We saw him last week fighting for the lead, but right now just kind of mired there in the middle of the pack, about 8th or 9th in the 93 Navy truck there. Charles Woods, Earl Weaver rounding out our top 10 as we're going to get ready to go green.
Yeah, Charles Woods has that Purple Hearts Homes on the back of his truck as well, so just giving another shout out to any organization that might help our service members on this Veterans Day. Back in the day, we used to call it Armistice Day.
How old are you?
Old enough to hear about it in school, but not old enough to have experienced it.
They probably called it that when I was a kid, and I was just too. Now I'm too old to remember.
They changed it after one of the wars. I don't think it was World War II. I want to say it might have been Korea, but
Okay, I'm not that old then.
somebody in our chat could give us a history lesson.
Ryan Patty, chime in. All right, coming to green.
Right, Patty's busy. Chris, take it away.
Coming off of turn number 4, Ryan Patty going to bring us back to the striped single file this time. Ryan Patty, Chad Stearns. Patty with another good start right here, but Stearns hanging on to the back. I'm only about 2 truck lanes back as they head down into turn number 1.
Green and green this time around. A little bit of side-by-side with Weaver and the 93 of Sisler. Sisler trying to get down to the inside of that Mountain Dew machine. Going to be able to get clear getting into 3 and 4, but Weaver going to try to cross him back over down on the bottom side.
I think he's going to be able to do
Nothing
it.
doing there.
Takes a look to the inside down the front straightaway. Oh, we got another caution. Not sure what this one was for.
Scott Kukas, I believe, at the back.
Oh, turned around there on the front straightaway. We'll see if we can see what happened to Scott in the 240. Our fourth caution, 30 laps into this race. You know, 4 would have been like the over/under for the whole race for me.
Barry
Definitely
Phil.
not this early.
Barry Phil seems to have had a separate issue potentially.
Let's see if we can see what happened to Scott as he comes off the corner here. And I think we're going to see what we've been seeing all day long. He's just going to lose the back of this truck. He's got Barry Phillip on the outside of him there.
Oh no,
Oh.
Phil gets sideways down into the 242. They both hit hard on the inside. And Wayne Hutchison nowhere to go, and Julian Ritchie both getting a piece of it.
All right, let's take a look here from inside of Wayne Hutchison's truck.
It was a very fast look. Another fast look.
I'm sorry, I don't know why it's going so fast like that.
I know we
Right.
said quick look.
I don't. Yeah,
I didn't think that was what we meant.
I don't like to rewind here, but it's in my only option at the moment. So he thinks, oh, there's just nothing he can do. He kind of started to move to the outside, but he had Ricci up on the outside of him.
Yeah, that truck is torn to pieces now. That left front is. It was already struggling to hold on with that previous contact to the outside wall, but that left front is really hurting now.
Take a look here from Barry Phil. I was going to try to there. I guess it rewound a little farther than I wanted it to, but we go through 3 and 4.
Oh, you're all
here.
good.
Go through 3 and 4. Phil, they're up on the outside. Yeah, Kuka's running a good line down there on the bottom. I don't think he really expected any issue at that point, but as they come off of 4, Phil just starts to lose the back of the truck, pushes up to the wall. Yep, just, you know, I think he thought he was going to hit the wall and maybe tried to correct it and turn down a little bit.
Yeah, just try to keep it off the wall, got sideways.
Oh,
and
big hit from Ricci there, too.
Yeah, Ricci nowhere to go but into the back as well. He's got some pretty similar right front.
Somebody's telling me to look at the cockpit view of that look at my cockpit. I don't even know who that is. Who's Gribaldi? No, Dustin. So see, Dustin Burns says, let's look at his in-car view from that caution flag. So let's just take a quick look here.
Appreciate you, Dustin.
Let me see here.
I know you're busy right now, but thank you for. Oh, you had it.
There we go. I don't know why it's doing that. All right, so Dustin Burns here in the 04 going to get his view. He's in the YouTube chat telling us to take a look, so we're going to take a look. So here he is. He's kind of back here, just kind of way away from all this.
Armistice Day became Veterans Day in 1954.
Thank you. Oh, here comes Burns. Oh, he's just going to squeak by on the outside. You know what? Dustin is on the YouTube chat. He just wanted us to show his skills of being in the right place at the right time right there. Thanks for chiming in.
I'm not going to ask you about your FOV that you've got on your camera, but what I am going to say, this isn't the ARCA series, but Dustin Burns just wanted to see his Reese's sweet move of the race there.
All right, so with 4th caution, are we gonna? Let me see. Did we get a lap completed? We're gonna be single file again. I think we are, aren't we?
I believe we are. Yes. Single file lights are off on the truck. It's going to be once again Ryan Patty with Chad Stearns behind him. Jacob Jensen in 3rd. Patty has led every lap so far. Jacob Jensen started from the pits. Can't forget about Paul Crumray, who's also been up here in the top 5 for most of this day. Running strong. Shane Jensen just behind him. Started, I believe, in P5. We got Bob Beltrami, Matt Sisler, David Weaver, Charles Woods, and then Earl Weaver. Rounding out your top 10. Pace truck makes that hard left turn that I wouldn't recommend on most GPSs. Into the restart zone. Where does he go? He's waited. Now this time he goes about midway, and he's going to get himself a strong jump to 3 car lengths, getting into turn number 1.
Patty down into 1. Got Stearns right there behind him one more time. Jacob Jensen has been the fastest truck here. Worked his way up basically from last up to 3rd. But he's now behind the 05 and the 34. He's not really making up near as much ground as he was earlier. But here's Paul Crumay here in the 96, and I think I finally got his name right. Up into the 4th spot. Shane Jensen back there in 5th. Bob Beltrami 6th.
Sisler trying to find a way to get up to these guys in that Navy machine. And David Weaver in that 16 Mountain Dew machine. We've seen him make a lot of improvement throughout the course of this year, talking about that 16. it's nice to see that. He's been, somebody that you don't always like to say when somebody's been, outside of the top 15. But to be able to see him work his way up into the top 10, and now he's become somebody that we consistently see in the top 10, he's just going to keep getting better and better. Excited to see that out of David Weaver in seasons in the future.
Patty's been the class of the field here right now. Stearns has not had anything for him. Jacob Jensen now closing up on the back of Stearns for that second spot. I think we're going to see Jensen look to the bottom. These guys have been battling all season. The 64 and the 05, they always seem to find each other on the racetrack. It's led to a couple instances here and a couple of times throughout the season, but it looks like they're going to run pretty clean here so far. Jensen following the 05, just looking for some way around.
This track is by no means impossible to pass at, but it's not easy. It's going to take you a couple tries of setting up a run, setting up the perfect opportunity to dive it down in there. Don't expect Jacob Jensen to put himself in a bad situation this early. I know we're getting closer to the halfway point, but if there's anybody who's going to have a head on his shoulders, it's Jacob Jensen, who's already won 6 times this year.
Bob Beltrami down underneath Shane Jensen for that 5th spot, and he's bringing Sisler right there with him. So Jensen kind of stuck up there on the outside. He's going to lose 2 spots in the matter of about half a lap here. He's fighting back strong on the outside, but Sisler's got the line, and I don't think Jensen's going to be able to hold him off here. All they come off of 4, though. He's got a good run here. He's not going to give it up easily. Jensen with a good run down the front straight into 1. He might just get that spot back from Sisler.
Sisler's trying back on the inside here. Shane Jensen able to hold strong up on the top side. He got a little bit loose there. David Weaver trying to keep following through. And now here comes Shane Jensen on the inside of Bob Beltrami.
Nice run out of the 8 truck right there. He fought off that battle from 93 of Sisler, and says, I'm coming for you, Bob. I want my spot back. And Shane Jensen, definitely one of his better runs of the season. And as I said, he pushes up the racetrack, gives that spot back to the 93 of Sisler. Sisler down underneath and coming off of turn number 2, heading down the back straightaway.
Both of them got a little bit loose there coming up off of 2. Shane Jensen is not trying to give this spot up. So now we look a little bit further back. Here comes Hollingsworth on the other Weaver, and Brian Barnes trying to get down to the inside. Didn't quite have the space or the momentum to get down there, but he looks to have a fast truck at this stage in the game. 40 laps complete. We saw him go around on lap 1. Now he's got the 23 down to his inside. He's going to have a tough defense here. Wow, look at that send up on the outside.
Great run into 1 there from Brian Barnes, but unfortunately he loses the momentum coming off at 2. Weaver able to fight him off right there, keep that spot. Barnes got a nice crossover down to the inside, heading into turn number 3. Barnes is going to take the spot away from Weaver, now up to 11th after, as you said, involved in that early caution. Good to see Brian making a good recovery.
Going back up to the top 3, Jacob Jensen rather, still not able to get around that 05 machine just yet, but the top 3 under a blanket within 1 second of each other, and last lap time around, these guys were within 2/100ths of a second of each other. These guys are absolutely putting down blazing laps, but at the same time, they're not letting any of them, get an advantage.
No, and Chad Stearns and Jacob Jensen both closing in on the back of that 34 Ryan Patty. You know, maybe we shouldn't be giving Patty, if Patty's in there listening to the YouTube, maybe we shouldn't be giving him all this information. I guess it's not like you can't see it in the rearview mirror, right?
That is absolutely correct. Look at Shane Jensen making the move down once again on Beltrami. Matt Sisler going to try to figure out which way is better. Beltrami in deep on the outside. Can he keep those tires hooked up and keep that momentum on the outside? Yes, he can, big time. And now here comes Sisler up to the top side of Jensen. Going to try to take away that spot. Before they get to turn 1, Jensen says, not quite yet. I'm going to fight it.
Good battle going on with these 3 trucks right here with Beltrami, Jensen, and Sisler. Putting on a heck of a show here, fighting for this 5th, 6th, and 7th position. We look back there in the back, we see Brian Barnes also peek up underneath Charles Wood one more time. Barnes trying to get his himself to the front. He started back in 19th in this race, up 9 spots now. Charge into the front. Brian's always in contention. If he's been on the podium for the last few weeks, if he can get his way to the front of this thing, he is going to be a challenger. Top three kind of single filed out. Let's see if we can find us a good battle here somewhere throughout the field. Everybody's
Shane
single
Jensen is dropping like a rock at this point. He's slipping and sliding through turns 1 and 2. Now Weaver's going to have a good run. Hollingsworth going to try to follow through. Brian Barnes just behind this. Oh, David Weaver goes all the way down to the apron, slides up the racetrack. Hollingsworth has to move up. That's going to allow Shane Jensen a moment to try to recover, maybe get his tire temperatures down if he had a slide. But, man, that 8 truck is not looking like it did just a couple of laps ago.
Pitted back on lap 21, so 24 laps on these tires. You can see him chasing the truck up the racetrack, not able to hold it down on the bottom like he was just a few laps ago. We got a battle going on back here. We got Hollingsworth, Weaver, and Barnes now. Hollingsworth down to the inside of Weaver, trying to move himself up a position, see if he can get up behind that number 8 truck. All these guys got him. See Jensen struggling just a little bit, trying to get up or take advantage of it. But Jensen maybe recovered a little bit as he drives away a few truck lanes.
Yeah, now that Hollingsworth is trying to defend from the 16 and the 4 behind him, that's allowed Shane to get away just a little bit. So he's got some breathing room as this battle just inside the top 10 continues. Look at Brian Barnes find the center, but he doesn't have anything on the exit. Weaver's going to be able to get away with a gap, and look at how much he can gap on this long back straightaway.
Yeah, you see a lot of different lines here. It's really great to see the bottom and the middle and all working here at Gateway. And you can see what happens with guys that are not able to hold the bottom of the racetrack. They're sliding up. If it was a dirt race, I'd say they're kind of running a slider line. They're going in the bottom, drifting up to the middle. And it's giving them quite a bit of momentum coming off the corner. You saw it work right there for Barnes. You see he held on to that spot with Charles Woods. But we look back up here to the front, and they're still pretty single filed out. It's Patty, Stearns, and Jensen. Just kind of looks like they're happy to just run 1, 2, 3 right now.
Here's something else I'm going to bring up here. Might not mean the whole most in the world, but we are in a completely overcast situation right now, whereas we had sun beforehand. This track is going to change a little bit. These trucks are going to be able to keep some heat in the racetrack. It's not going to be super drastic, but as I say that, the sun comes out a little bit. We start to see more shadows. You can expect that to, throw a wrench in what these drivers have to do.
Yeah, I was going to complain about it. I don't know who set the weather for this, but it doesn't help our broadcast very well. Little cloudy skies like this, little fog setting in, but keeping the track conditions nice and cool. You think it would make the tires last a little bit longer, as we are about 27, 28 laps into this after the last pit stop back on lap 21. Brian Barnes now back up to 9th around David Weaver, up in front of them. We're pretty much single filed out just about everywhere. We'll take a look back here in the back, see if we can find something going on. John Kenyon in the 88 trying to catch Jeff Wilson. You know what? That's our 2 in-car camera trucks, nose to tail right here. We'll see if we can pull them up. Jeff Wills down in the bottom right-hand corner. John Kenyon right above that. Running nose to tail right now. You can see John Kenyon's view. He sees the 74 right there in front of him as well as we do on our screen. I think they planned this for us here, Liam. We'll jump back over, take a look towards the front. Chad Stearns closing up a little bit on Ryan Patty. About 3 or 4 truck lanes back. It's a good run down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Patty might be slipping off just a little bit here. This is the 05 and the 64 are both catching him. They've gained about maybe 0.2 of a second just the last lap.
Yeah, now that sun has come back out, we're starting to see a little bit of shifting in the performance up front. Bit of an equal gap now, whereas before we saw Jacob Jensen all over the back bumper of that 05. Coming up off of turn number 2, Patty takes a little bit wider of an exit. It's going to allow him a slight bit of momentum, but is it going to be enough to keep that 05 from gaining on him throughout turns 3 and 4?
So let's take a look at our biggest movers of the race here. It's Brian Barnes up 10 spots now, up to 9, starting 19th. Paul Creme up to 7th. Jeff Willis 5th. Keith Kelman 4th. We saw Keith involved in our earlier incident as well. And Matt Slisser there up 3 spots. Our lap leaders so far, a short list here. Ryan Patty, we're 52 laps in. Ryan Patty's led all 52 laps.
Is that going to last, though? Stearns is closing in. He was half a tenth quicker that last time. Jacob Jensen, even quicker than the both of your leaders. Now these guys getting all within half a second of each other. This battle really starting to heat up as we approach lap number 53. We're past halfway. Gotta believe there's only one more pit stop coming our way. So this is getting pretty close to being for the marbles here, Chris.
Yeah, if we're looking at a 45 lap max on fuel, they pitted on 21, so we're looking pit stop somewhere in the next probably 10 to 12 laps. Thanks for Ryan Patty for that information. And we've got ourselves a 3-car battle here for the lead. We've not seen this for a while. The 34, the 05, and the 64 nose to tail.
Jensen slides a little bit wide. That's going to allow Stearns a little bit of space. But the same thing happened to Stearns, and you can see that 34 driving just a little bit further away. Look at the gap that they've got on fourth place. It is 6 seconds between third and fourth place, Jacob Jensen and Paul Crumray. These guys are absolutely in another class. You almost got to wonder, is this the big three?
Well, it's definitely the big three here today. They are putting on the show. Patty's not wanting to give up that lead. Let's see if somebody maybe... So we're 45 laps on fuel. We're lap 55. We got about 42 laps left to go right now. Let's see if somebody maybe tries to jump into the pits a little bit early, take on some tires, maybe undercut. You can see these drivers struggling a little bit on these tires. They are definitely showing their wear. We're down to what? We're down about over about 1.5, almost 1.5 seconds from our fastest laps of the race. Last laps out there, 34.9s, 34.8s.
So yeah, I would have to believe these guys are going to be within 10 laps of needing to come to pit road. You might be onto something. Would somebody want to try to risk it, come in early? This is quite a gap between third and fourth place, so I'm not sure that these guys are going to be able to take advantage of it. However, if you're Jacob Jensen or Chad Stearns, you haven't been able to pass Ryan Patty on track all day long. Maybe the undercut is your chance to just get it done and drive away.
Yeah, like Patty, if I'm Stearns or Jensen, if I see Patty dive down in the pits, I'm going to try to follow. But I think Jensen's probably getting the best position to do this right now. If he can get in a lap or two earlier, get out and put some good out laps, I think he can find his way in front of Patty. We're going to see how this works out. But Patty, it's going to be tough for him to get an advantage. So 2 trucks behind him are going to see what he's doing, try to dive down in the pits. And we were looking back here a second ago. Brian Barnes now found his way around Shane Jensen. Shane was running up towards the front for a good part of the early in the race, but he's now fallen back to 8th. Barnes looks to be coming on pretty strong here late in this run. He's cleared Jensen, now looking to find his way around the 14 truck of Bob Balbatrami.
Barnes coming on strong here at the end. He started in the 19th position after showing up late, missing practice, and not having enough time to put down a qualifying lap. He's basically done all of his practice throughout the course of this race today. And I tell you what, old dogs, they can still learn new tricks because that man has done nothing but get better and better all night.
Yeah, you saw Jensen a little bit loose getting in the corner right there. Had to chase the truck up the racetrack. That allowed Hollinsworth to get down on the bottom. The 97 of Hollinsworth looking to get a run to get around Jensen for that 8th spot, but not able to clear him. We'll take a peek. We're side by side here. Barnes and Beltrami side by side as well. Take a look up to the front here. Still single filed out, so we'll jump back. Don't want to miss any action up here in the front. Jensen looks to be coming on here a little bit. See him? He's able to hold the bottom of the racetrack a little better.
I think the leader's pitting.
Ryan Patty.
Keep an eye on the leader here.
Let's see if Patty comes down in the pits. You can see him wowing up here a little bit. He missed the entry. Nope.
That's not what he said on the radio.
He's trying to maybe he's trying to fool somebody, make them dive down in early. I still think it's a benefit to dive down early, so we'll see how this plays out.
I agree, but these guys are all nose to tail now, and the middle of the corner seems to be where the 34 loses the most time. Jensen moves up to the middle. You see the 05 trying to work the bottom here. Sideways is the 34 coming up off of the corner. So is the 64.
They're coming up on the number 1 to Jill and Ricci.
The leaders, they want the space. Ricci's going to give it to him low.
Still no
Jensen
pit.
Tries to dive it in. Sorry, Chris.
No, you go right ahead.
He was trying to dive it in there so he can make sure he could establish the position on Ricci. seemed like he was unsure he was going to be able to getting into the corner, but status quo stays the same up front for these top three, and this battle continues. This is a chess match.
Take a peek back here. Beltrami and Barnes, they ran so many laps side by side together over the years. Jump back up to the front. We don't want to miss this battle here. Pit stops have got to be coming sometime soon. Still nobody diving down in. 61 laps. It's been 40 laps since the last pit stop.
You got to believe these guys are going to be within the next 5 or so laps. Top three within 1/2 a second.
Yeah, if our information earlier was correct, 45 laps. We're looking at stops no later than the next 3 or 4 laps here from our leaders, so they're still nose to tail.
You hear a lot of people talk about you want to be the first to pit last. Which one of these three is going to blink first, or could somebody behind him come in early and potentially get an advantage?
I think anybody back of these top three may be too far back to anything to help them out. I mean, Sizzler now is what, 8 seconds back of the, was it 8 seconds? Almost 9 seconds back of the leader. So these top three have just been the class of the fielder since we went back to green way back in the lap 20. Was it lap 29 or lap 30?
I think it was lap 24 we went green on. So we've been green for almost 40 laps.
Jensen in the pits.
Jensen is the first to blink.
I think this is a good call. I've been saying this for the last 3 or 4 laps. I think if Jensen can get a nice clean stop, come in here, get some fresh tires, and have a good out lap, I think he's going to have an advantage on these guys. We'll see how it plays out. See if Patty...
Matt Sisler, Bob Beltrami, Shane Jensen all into the pits.
Oh, Patty a little bit loose off it too.
Just a kiss with that right rear.
Let's see if Patty and Stearns... I think Patty's won't up
They're
to come
both
down
coming in. Can they both keep it on the access road? They're racing each other still, but they can't go off.
So Stearns still on... Or Jensen's still on pit road.
Oh, wow. Big slide there for both of them getting onto the pits. Are they going to be able to have it down to pit speed? It almost looked like that 34 was going to spin as he shifted down to his gear. And then the 05 of Chad Stearns had to slam on the brakes to avoid hitting him. He almost sputtered as well. Paul Crumray's going to stay out and take over the race lead with Jeff Hollingsworth just behind him. Ryan Patty still in front.
We're going to keep...
Matt Sisler's got a speeding penalty.
All right, we're going to keep an eye on Jensen. He's coming off of turn number 4 right now. Let's see if he clears Patty and Stearns as they come off of pit road.
I can't see him.
Down there, he's going to do it. That undercut's going to work for him. He is going to clear Stearns. He's going to
have a nice run on Patty. Is he going to have enough?
He's got the pace right now. He's getting warmed up.
Away. He goes to the outside. Side by side, still got a nose up there. A little bit loose on the bottom is the 34. Jacob Jensen stays strong up on the outside, side by side for the race lead, for the effective race lead.
Jensen able to get those tires warmed up in that lap, and it's going to... Oh, Patty fights back down on the bottom. Jensen wasn't able to get down to the bottom and cut him off. They come off at turn number 2.
Patty let off early. He saw that the speed that 64 was going to carry into the corner. He let off early, said, I'll take my center. Tried to keep him down, tried to keep himself down there to side draft him back, but didn't quite have enough to keep him inside.
So right now,
Ultram Raid. Go ahead.
I was going to say, right now, this is the battle for 7th and 8th, but it is going to be the battle for the lead. Is like you were saying, Paul Crumay still yet to pit. Out there in front. I don't know what's really the advantage of staying out there long right now. It's not like you're going to cut off a pit stop or anything, but we'll see what happens. Maybe catch a caution.
If he gets a yellow, he's going to have fresher tires and not a lot of cars on a lead lap.
So Jensen, we'll look back here at Jensen one more time. Jeff Willis up there in 3rd. Chris Walker down in the pits. That's going to move Jensen, Patty, and Stearns up to 4th, 5th, and 6th right now. And there comes Paul Crumay down into the pits. Charles Wood's going to stay out, going to lead a lap now. Jeff Will's also going to... Oh, Will's going to come into the pit. So it looks like Wood's still the only driver that yet to make his second stop now, it looks like.
Yes, sir. You are absolutely correct. And he's coming in this time.
Yeah, he's pretty much have to at this point. You think he's gone, what, 48 laps on that tank of fuel. And that is going to hand the lead over to Jacob Jensen. That undercut paid off for him. Pitted a lap earlier, had a really good out lap, was able to clear Patty and Stearns both. So Jacob Jensen started from pit road, has now worked his way to the point. 68 laps in, 28 laps left to go. I'm Chris Murphy with Liam Erbig for Sim Racing Media, bringing you the Western States Racing League Season 53. Man, it's a long, long time. 53 seasons. These guys started back in 1999 with this league, so really one of the oldest leagues still around that I know of anywhere.
This league is almost as old, or if not older, than Blink 182.
So Jensen out of the point, but Patty is not going away. Chad Stearns also right there. So it's going to come down to these top three. No more pit stops unless we get a caution and somebody takes a chance on some new tires. But we've had, 4 cautions in this race. Look here at 74, Jeff Wills. The one thing we haven't done yet, I probably should have done this on the pit stops. We're just going to take a really quick commercial. We're going to keep the race up in the split screen. Anything happens, we'll jump back over. But we got to just do a little bit of a commercial, so we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Absolutely blazing action here for the race lead. Here comes the 34 right up on the rear bumper of the 64 coming up off of turn number 2. Jensen got super loose last time around coming through turn 2, and that gave the 34 the opportunity to get right to his rear bumper. Now Jensen dives it in, getting into turns 3 and 4. What can Ryan Patty do to try to close that gap back in? And let's not forget Chad Stearns. He's sitting here with a front row seat to one of the greatest wrestling matches in the state of Illinois on a Tuesday night. Absolutely blistering stuff here up front. I'm Liam Erbig, back live here with Sim Racing Media. Chris Murphy is with me. Even though I talk over him all the time, he is still here.
I think we both do our share. So happy to be with you here, Liam. This is a great show here again tonight. We've got 3 trucks fighting for the lead. Jensen Stearns going to stick his nose in there now, too. We are nose to tail. Some great racing here to finish this off. We got 21 laps left to go. It's Jensen, Patty, and Stearns, your top 3. Stearns going to take a look down to the bottom. Does he have a nose underneath Jensen? He got a nose in there, but just not enough. Jensen gave him the space, so Jensen kept it up the racetrack.
Jensen slides a little bit on entry. Patty's going to take advantage of that in the middle and cut down. He's going to take over the race lead. Chad Stearns trying to follow him through for second. Jacob Jensen falling back to third. No, Jacob but he tried to pinch that 05 right back behind him here, trying for the crossover.
Yeah, Patty stuck his nose up underneath Jensen. I looked like Patty was actually going to back off and let him have the spot. Jensen saw him coming and stayed up the racetrack. That let Patty get up underneath him far enough to take the lead. Open that hole up just long enough for Stearns to go by as well. So Jensen now falls back to third after that very timely pit stop gave him the lead. It is still 1, 2, 3 here with Stearns, Patty, Stearns, and Jensen. I guess I can get them in the right order here.
And I know, you might be thinking, well, he made the pit stop early, so of course he's going to have worse tires. He only pitted by 1 lap earlier. I don't think this is I don't think it's an unbelievable ask. I'm not sure it's going to be... I'm not sure who of this top 3 is going to win as we see Brian Barnes making a move there on Charles Woods.
Yeah, Stearns, I was just kind of trying to find some other race in the field. Brian Barnes looked like he had a black flag on that last pit stop. Sisler and Shane Jensen all had black flags on that pit stop. They're back 14th, 15th, 16th. But we're back with your fight for the lead. And it is Ryan Patty, but he has got his rear view mirror filled with the 05 of Chad Stearns.
Jacob Jensen doing what he's done all season, remaining up in the top 5, top 3, trying to bide his time. Look at the 3 different lines being used throughout turns 1 and 2 there. No significant advantage to anybody, just the car who got off first got away a little bit quicker.
Stearns with a good run into the corner. He lets the car slide up the racetrack. That's going to give him a little momentum off the corner. You can see with a good run here, he closes it back up on the back of the 34 of Patty.
Patty slipped up just a little bit. Now Stearns looks to the inside, nothing doing there, but he's putting a lot of pressure on that rear bumper, the 34 just in front of him. Cuts down to the middle, cuts down to the bottom, but the momentum stays on the outside with the 34 of Patty.
Let's see what... Let me take a look here from Jensen looking forward. See the 05 of Stearns, and like you said, these guys, you see in multiple different groups. That last corner they went through, they were like staggered out, all 3 of them, all in a different line. So lots of different groups here, but just you got to find the right spot. Just get a little bit of an extra push to find your way around the guy in front of you.
And when you ride on board like that, you can hear that they are shifting down into third throughout these corners, trying to get a little bit more bite coming up off through the middle of the corner. These guys are shifting down to try to get every ounce of grip that they can out of their cars. The only problem with that is when you make that shift back up into fourth, if you don't still have the bite on your tires, you're going to slip and slide coming out of the corner. And with these long straightaways, you cannot afford to lose momentum, not with 14 laps to go.
Stearns with a little bit of run off the corner. Actually, Patty got away from him there just a little bit. Stearns able to keep the truck down a little bit closer to the bottom of the racetrack. Let's see if that helps him off a 2 down the back straightaway one more time. We got 14 laps left to go of the 96, 82 laps completed. It is Ryan Patty, Chad Stearns, Jacob Jensen, your top 3 here at the Worldwide Technology Speedway.
Right up on the rear bumper, coming up off of turn 4. Here comes a move down to the inside for Chad Stearns. Does he have the momentum? Does he have enough to get in there? He's going to send it in. Oh, it's sideways. Goes to 34. He's going to tag the wall.
I couldn't tell if Patty started to come to the bottom and saw Stearns and it just kind of tried to move up the racetrack, or if there was some net code. I'm not sure which one that was, but I think Patty might have expected Stearns to back off because he didn't really have kind of a late lunge there. Patty looked to turn down into his line, and then at the last second had to swerve up out of the path of Chad Stearns, but now Patty goes from first to third.
Got some lap traffic coming up. 12 laps to go. Can Patty get back up to the front? Can Jacob Jensen work his way to the back bumper of the 05? Or is Chad Stearns going to drive away with his 4th win of the season? Got it done in our season opener at Texas. We've seen him in victory lane twice since then, but it's been a little while. Take a look at Bob Beltrami in 4th place. 13 seconds behind Ryan Patty.
Yeah, take a little bit of opportunity here. That battle for the lead has kind of settled down a little bit. Stearns now out in front. We'll take a look through the field here a little bit. 97 of Jeff Hollinsworth back here in 5th. It's Paul Crumay back in the 6th spot. And you can see the 2 lap trucks of Sisler and Barnes right there in front of him. Charles Wood in 7th. John Kenyon in the 88 Granger truck finds himself in 8th. Chris Walker involved in an early race incident, now up to 9th. Jeff Wills right there behind him in the 74 in the 10th spot. Earl Weaver with a good run right now, find himself in 11th. He's up a couple of spots from his 13th starting position. Right there behind him is David Weaver in the 16. And then we've signed our first lap trucks here of Dustin Burns and Dustin Burns not a lap down. Our first lap truck of Matt Sisler here. Brian Barnes. And then we look at Shane Jensen. Unfortunate for Shane. He was running up in the top 5 really early on in this race, all the way back to 16th. Julian Ricci still out there on the racetrack. And you can see he's getting put another lap down here. You can see Jacob and Ryan Patty right there behind him. Then we got Keith Kelman still out there on the racetrack. And that is our last truck on the racetrack. 18th spot, 07 at Keith Kelman. Jump back up here to the front. See Chad Stearns, 9 laps left to go, Liam.
Patty's got himself about a 1.5-second gap. No lap trucks between him and second place Jacob Jensen. That battle for second place is still on. These guys really racing hard. They're starting to continue. They're continuing to lose time to the race leader here. And with just 9 laps to go, going to be 8 next time they cross the stripe. They really got to try to get their ducks in a row here and see if they've got a chance to pull up to that leader. If not, Chad Stearns is looking at number 4.
Take a look at our lap leaders here. Early on, it was Ryan Patty leading everything. The first 52 laps of the race is Jacob Jensen. Now has led 7 laps. Chad Stearns, Paul Crumay, and Charles Wood both led a few laps here during the pit stop cycles. So we've had 5 different leaders in this race right now. Ryan Patty by far leading the most laps at 71.
Yeah, that 34 spent a lot of time out front, but as we get down to the end, this is the most important time to be out front, and Chad Stearns is doing a phenomenal job. Came into pit on lap 64, 1 lap later than Jacob Jensen did. Same lap as the 34 of Ryan Patty. But Stearns able to hold on, keep everything clean, keep his wheels under him. Now he's got himself a good shot at getting win number 4 on the season with 7 laps to go.
I got a couple battles on the racetrack. Jacob Jensen and Ryan Patty still fighting out for second. We've got Chris Walker and Jeff Wills here fighting for this 8th spot as Will starts to get a little bit of separation here in the 74. And we're going to pull up we got about 6 laps left to go. I'm just going to pull up the webcams here one more time. These guys were kind enough to do this for us tonight. We'll give them a little bit of screen time. John Kenyon on your top right there. Jeff Wills down on the bottom. You can see the concentration of Jeff. He's got his Bose headphones on right there. He is set up nice and strong. Not a great run for Jeff today. He is up 12 spots, so he started back in 20th all the way up to 8th.
Yeah, and we can't thank these drivers enough for doing this for us, allowing us into their homes, into their cars, into their sim rigs to just show us what they got going on. It's really cool. And so if you guys have the ability to do so, by all means let us know. We would love to share that with you as well.
And as we were looking
we do have the change for second place. Ryan Patty got around Jacob Jensen.
Got 5 laps left to go. Jensen looks to be maybe sliding off a little bit. Got a little bit loose right there. I'm not quite sure. Let's see if I can find the let's see. We'll go back and we'll see the passer real quick. 5 laps left to go. Patty find his way around Jensen here. We're gonna go with slow-mo down the front straightaway, actually into turn number 1. Patty with just a good run there getting into 1. Jensen just really just had to give him the spot right there. Oh, they both kind of slide into the corner there. It looked like Patty with a good move though down there on the bottom. And that is going to be your pass for second. Oh, a little bit of contact. They slide up the racetrack. Maybe that's why Jensen lost a little more ground there. Patty kind of slid up just a little bit. They made a little contact. So that was your pass for second a couple of laps ago.
2 seconds between first and second. 3 laps to go as they come across the stripe.
Yeah, Stearns has got Walker and Weaver right there in front of him, looking to come put another lap on those 2 drivers. So we got a little bit of lap traffic coming into play, but Patty is about 10 to 12 car lengths back right now. Chad's going to have to make a mistake here for Patty to have a chance to get by him. And now our top, we had such a great race going on there, Liam, with those top three, but they are separated out now. I was really hoping that was going to go all the way down to the wire, but it was bound. I mean, they were running so tight, something was bound to happen, and that contact with Stearns and Patty right there just really separated them out.
2 more trips around for Chad Stearns. 05 truck. I mean, he's had himself a pretty good season.
Yeah, he hasn't made every single race, but when he has made the show, he has put on a show. Gonna put a lap on the 23 of Chris Walker here. He's got Earl Weaver right there in front of him in the 46. Not making it easy though. Patty is closing in just a little bit, but as we take the white flag, 1 more lap left to go for Chad Stearns. So we head down the back straightaway one more time down into turn number 3. It's the 05. Chad Stearns out in front, looking to pick up, what did you say? It was win number 4, Liam?
It's going to be win number 4, his first win since round number 9 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Chad Stearns comes up off of turn number 4 and gets her done at Gateway. Second place goes to Ryan Patty, and Jacob Jensen finishes 3rd. 4th place is going to come to Bob Beltrami, a long ways back.
Patty was making a charge there at the end. We watch Hollingsworth come across the line. The left track of Brian Barnes right there behind him. Paul Crumet is going to come across in 6th. We take a look at Chad Stearns giving us a nice slide job through the corner. Jensen doing the same thing. Doing a little dirt tracking out there in the Craftsman trucks tonight.
Absolutely phenomenal stuff. Another classic here at Gateway.
My podium doesn't work when these fancy graphics. If you guys don't have custom paint jobs, it messes up our graphics. Chad, I'm just telling you right now. Our buddy Shane Cochran put a lot of time into those things, but good win there.
Now Chad is amazing. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get him up into the booth. We'll do our best here.
He's usually a little shy about coming into the booth with us.
Which is A-okay. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. I don't think we're that scary, but maybe we can get a hold of Jacob Jensen and Ryan Patty. Chad Stearns, we always hope to hear from you, but we're just waiting.
Let's take a look here. We got, let me see, nobody in the waiting booth. Nobody wants to talk to us, Liam.
Yeah, we'll run through the finishing results and see if maybe they get there by then.
All right, you go right ahead.
Chad Stearns gets her done. 4th win on the season. First one in, I believe, 9. Ryan Patty makes his season debut and comes home in 2nd with Jacob Jensen, your championship leader. A strong podium finish in 3rd. Bob Beltrami and Jeff Hollingsworth round out your top 5, followed by Crom Ray and Charles Woods. Jeff Wills, Earl Weaver, and Chris Walker round out your top 10. David Weaver, Brian Barnes, Matt Sisler, Dustin Burns, and Shane Jensen comes away with a top 15 after starting up in the top 5. Julian Ritchie, John Kenyon, Keith Kellman, Ron Holyfield, and Wayne Hutchison round out your top 20, while Barry Phil and Scott Kukas, along with Charlie Widener, are the final drivers to finish. Alan Bergen gets a shout out, but the dollar stays. Jacob Jensen is up in the booth. Should be able to get our 3rd place driver. Jacob, it's Chris and Liam up in the booth. You got a copy.
I got you. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good, man. You had an intense battle there with Ryan Patty there at the end. I got to ask you first, because I haven't seen him around here before. Have you raced with him? Did you know kind of what to expect when it came to racing him at the end? And, also talk with us about your race, because you started from the pits and had a lot of adversity to walk through.
Yeah, it was definitely a very interesting race. I've never raced with Ryan before. It was very fun racing with him. I hope he comes back for more races. But it was a very interesting race for sure. I had a little technical difficulty getting gridded up, so yeah, I started from the pits, but that didn't really matter too much. I felt like I was going to be really comfortable making a one-stop kind of a race until we got a caution at lap 30-ish, and then that definitely switched us to a two-stop. After that, we were gonna. So it was definitely a different change in plans, but the track most of the night was pretty easy to pass. Once you got up with the really good people, it's always hard to pass. So it was a very good race tonight, and I think third's not a terrible result.
Oh, dude, I mean, you basically did what Max Verstappen did on Sunday. You started from the pits, drove your way up to third, and had a good shot at second. So, I mean, nothing to hang your head about. But I know we talk to you each and every week, but who helps you get it done there on that 64 machine? I know that 8 also had speed for you guys. Who helps you get it done, and who do you want to shout out for running so strong?
Well, I really want to thank the dear Lord. I want to thank my friends and family. I want to thank all the people out at Cavu Performance, and then also my main team now, Apex Velocity. I want to thank my sponsors, W444 Simulations, Box Box Banter, and Racing Paradise. I want to thank Bob and you guys for putting this league together, and hopefully next week in Michigan we'll have a very interesting show.
Is there You're probably a little bit more in tune with it than I am. Is there a shot that you think you can lock it up next week?
I don't know. I'm not paying a lot of attention to all of the points and how all the drop weeks are gonna go. I know that this week I saw that Brian Barnes had a pit road speeding penalty, and then Wayne Hutchinson left the race early. So there could be a shot, but I'm not entirely sure with all how the points are gonna go.
Well, awesome stuff, man. I know no matter how that goes, you're still going to give us your all on the racetrack.
Hey, Jacob, I got a question for you, Chris here, buddy. Hey, your dad Shane looked like it was running pretty strong tonight. Did you guys work pretty hard on a lot of practice here at Gateway this week?
I mean, not really. We started practicing a little earlier than usual today because I was off of school. But besides that, we didn't do too much different. I think he has the speed like that each and every week. It's just the execution he lacks. Because you guys see him, he's usually up front for the starter races, and then something happens. So I think we're getting it down with him. I think he is gonna be up on this podium soon, so that he can get an interview with you guys in the near future.
Well, appreciate you being with us. Congrats on another good run tonight, and good luck next week in Michigan.
Thank you very much. Have a nice one.
All right, I guess nobody else wants to come in and talk with us, Liam. I think you scared them all off.
Yeah, I didn't mean to.
That's right. It's a
I
great
just get
race
so
tonight.
excited about race cars.
Yeah, I know how it goes, man. I know exactly how it goes. But Chad Stearns comes home with a win tonight. Just a fantastic run for the 05. I'd like to have got him and Brian Patty both up here in the booth to kind of get their what they kind of saw out there on that pass between Stearns and Patty. But it was a good race. The top three, that was fantastic. I was kind of on the edge of my seat, for a while there. But unfortunate the last 20 laps got a little boring. They kind of got spaced out, but good show once again from the Western States Racing League. Next week we come back Tuesday, November 18th for Michigan. Uh, More broadcasts coming your way from Sim Racing Media. We're covering the Gunners. We actually covered their truck championship tonight. Tomorrow night we're covering their next gen season championship for the Gunners League. That is at I believe 9 Eastern tomorrow night. And I think that might be all that's left on the schedule for the week that I know of. But Liam, I'm gonna let you bring us home, buddy.
Yeah, I mean this week has been a lot of fun. Got a lot of pretty good events, and if you guys want, we can get your events up on here too. I think we're cheaper than most, but
I know
Chat Stearns
I
gets
know
her
you
done
are.
here today. It's only because of John. Chad Stearns gets her done here today. Ryan Patty debut this season, finishes second. Jacob Jensen in third. Got to talk with Jacob after he slid it into turns 3 and 4 and ruined his good race truck. These things are always a blast. I never know how to end them. Never know how to stop the fun, but the best way I know how is to say, as you guys walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Take it easy, folks.